Hello, welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, comment, rate, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We would love to hear your ratings of the movies and shows we review.
Email us your audio file to recappingpodcast@gmail.com and we will play it during the show.
Or DM us on Instagram and we will post and read it on air.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. Ashley.
What's up, sis? How are you?
What's good, fam? Oh my goodness. It's only 12 days in this year and it's been really long for me. I don't know about you, but it's a lot.
I feel like I stay in a bubble working from home a little bit more than I ever used to. So I can ignore certain things in ways that I couldn't before. But I feel you. I mean, I understand. These internets are still available to see about all these world shenanigans. So I feel you.
Little short story. Baby girl is home. COVID outbreak at the preschool. Home for 10 days. So essentially 2 weeks.
This is another one. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, be safe, y'all. Be safe. Omarion is in these streets.
I'm telling you. And I got the nerve to be traveling yet again, guys. I'm about to be heading out of town. When y'all are hearing this, I'll probably be on the plane. So, pray for me. I'm going to do my very best to stay safe. I'm boosted. That's why I said before I had to go ahead and get boosted. I'm too out here in these streets on the travel.
Yes. Safe travels to and from for sure. All right, Ashley. Well, we have several quick headlines and a few hot topics. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this is also part of what makes this year feel kind of long. We already dealt with the death of the beloved Golden Girl, Betty White, at the end of 2021. But here in the few days of 2022, we've had some major loss in Hollywood. The first, I'm looking at the Hollywood Reporter, Sir Sidney Poitier, regal star of the big screen, dies at 94 years old. The Oscar winner actor, memorable in such films as Lilies of the Field, To Serve with Love, and In the Heat of the Night, broke barriers and served as an inspiration for generations. Ashley, he passed away on January 7th in his home in Beverly Hills. He's had an extraordinary career, most noted, right? Poitier was the very first Black man to win an Academy Award for Best Actor when he was acknowledged for his portrayal as a good-hearted handyman for Arizona nuns in Lilies of the Field, 1963. And he's went on to star in many films. He was a director. This was always so surprising to me. Like, he directed comedies in the 80s, more notably the Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder box office hit Stir Crazy from 1980.
Is that right?
And fun fact, he's survived by beautiful daughters. Like, he's the ultimate girl dad. Ashley, what did his passing mean to you?
It's just, another legend gone. This one so deeply felt within the Black community. I can put it on par with like Cicely Tyson passing. Absolutely. The impact he had on the next generation of Black talent that we've grown up watching, has been immeasurable. I think one of my least favorite parts of aging, Delora, is seeing the people that I love and admire pass away. I'm really not enjoying that. And
it feels too frequent.
Well, it's definitely been a lot of loss within the last, few years for sure. But, again, a giant in the industry. He was so regal. Even his name, to a certain extent,
Yes.
is regal. I just think
and
of
he
him
demanded
as,
it. He demanded the respect, right?
I love the interview I saw where he said, I'm so much more than the questions that he was being asked as a Black man at the time. He was like, I'm an artist, I'm a human, I'm intelligent, I'm all these things. And you want to just ask me these basic questions. So you're right, he did demand it. But again, I saw the posts from so many Black talented actors and actresses, from Denzel to Halle to everybody, just talking about the impact he had on them. And those touch points, just the impact is, again, immeasurable. So rest in peace, Sidney. Rest in peace.
Absolutely.
Life well lived.
Absolutely. And I want to note one more thing. It was in 2002 when Denzel finally won his first Best Actor Oscar, the same year as Halle Berry. It was like they gave all the Blacks the Oscars that year. And it's been a minute especially for the actress, but that's
why Denzel gotta be crooked before he took it. That's always in my mind. Jadakiss. Why Denzel gotta be crooked before he took it? I'm just saying.
That's real. But I will say this. It took me loving Lion King to understand his in the heat of the night reference with Pumbaa. He was like, they call me Mr. Tim. and when I found out it came from him, I was like, yo, wow. So fun pop culture reference there. All right, Ashley, another sad, tragic loss. Bob Saget, America's dad. Okay. He passed away on Sunday, January 9th, at the age of 65 years old. He died in the hotel. They found him in his bed. It appears that he was sleeping. But it's worth noting that he had recently had COVID-19, literally weeks before his untimely death. And on that night was the first night of his comedy tour. And he did a set of 2 hours. He was elated to have produced so much, coming out for the first time in the midst of all the pandemic and what have you. So again, so many tributes. One of the things that I think says a lot about the person is all the things his friends and loved ones have to say about him. And they all said he was kind, he was generous, he was one of the best people they knew. And we all knew he had such a raunchy sense of humor, but that genuineness that America came to love with him playing Danny Tanner in Full House, apparently some of that was real. Were you shocked, as everyone was, to hear this news?
Absolutely. When I got a text, as usual, when these sorts of things happen, and I was definitely shocked. I was like, wait, what? And then he was found at a hotel in Orlando. What? Had no idea he was here, for one. Yeah. And for two, it was like, I need more information. What happened to him? Was there foul play? Just so many questions. And obviously we're still waiting on the results of his autopsy, but I appreciated the stories, again, that I got to read and hear about thereafter, such as Pete Davidson talking about him helping him through mental health issues, and Tiffany Haddish he met when she was a teenager and had such a profound impact on as a comedian. Just the reach. When we talk about Sidney Poitier previously, I knew and could see the reach. Bob Saget, I didn't know as well outside of his role in Full House and doing AFV. So to know, again, that it's somebody who was in the industry, who had a depth beyond what I even knew. I'm just, it's sad. We talked about Sidney and Betty White. They at least made it into their 90s. This is somebody who seemingly had an untimely death. So I'm sorry for his family and loved ones, for sure. I hope that they get some closure with those autopsy results. But in general, you know, loss of life is always unfortunate, and just wishing his family and friends and loved ones the very best. But clearly, again,
Absolutely.
Bob did his thing in the industry. So I was happy to hear that.
Absolutely. Well loved. Well loved. All right, Ashley. I have the opportunity to be a little bit more petty now in this quick headline. Jamie Lynn Spears talks personal memoir, relationship with Brittany. Quote, I love my sister. This is from GMA today, actually. So Jamie Lynn Spears opened up to ABC's Juju Chang in her first TV interview for her memoir, Things I Should Have Said. That's due out January 18th. And she discussed her life and her family. Ashley, the reason why I wanted to bring this up was because obviously we highlighted this in our final episode of 2021. Hashtag free Britney, right? That the evolution of that moment, which it was very much a moment. And sis has been very free. Have you seen some of her social media posts? Butt ass naked.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a lot, but I guess this is what free people do, right? I'm not that free, but I don't got Britney Spears money. So, you know,
there you go.
I'm just going to go ahead and insert some of my criticism right now. I thought it was rich that, speaking of the social media posts that Brittany has been posting, she's been very critical of her family, the entire family. Like, everybody could get these hands. And so for Jamie Lynn to do this exclusive sit down with the title of a book called Things I Should Have Said, Ashley, one, have you seen this interview? Two, are you convinced that her hands are clean?
So yes, I watched it because I knew we were going to be talking about it. Yes. I just watched it maybe an hour or two ago. And do I believe it? Is that what your second question was? Do I believe it?
Are her hands clean?
Clean is more of a matter probably of opinion, because from what I gathered from that interview, Jamie Lynn feels like she's been there for Brittany and done what she can. Within family dynamics, sometimes you do feel like you have people's backs, or that you were there to support them, and they're like, because what really happened was, or when I really needed you, I didn't feel like you were there, or X, Y, and Z. And I think given the position of Jamie Lynn as being 10 years younger than Brittany, this being her father being over the conservatorship, it's messy AF. It always has been. Yes. So I can't say that I feel some type of way or I fault Jamie Lynn, because at the end of the day, I don't know anything about that. That's not my family. Yeah. So she's entitled to tell her story.
So I completely agree with you, Ashley. I was just being a little petty because, you know, that's what I do. But from the pure optics of it, she looks guilty. Okay. It looks like, let me hurry up and get my story out to the public before Brittany starts letting it rip. And again, like I said, anybody could get these hands. So it just seems rushed. Now, when I saw the interview, to your point, I do believe she believes she did everything she could do, because let's keep things 100. 10 years is a major age gap between the two, right? Not to mention that Brittany also was the breadwinner of the family, right? So it's only so much she probably could do, or she felt limiting, because like, in that family dynamic, the powerhouses seem to have been the father, Brittany, and whoever Brittany's management was, if it wasn't the father, you know what I mean? Yeah. The other thing I'm going to mention about this interview is nobody cares about her life, though. Like, everybody cares about Brittany. And I hate to say it. Everybody came rushing to this interview to hear about what her dynamics were with Brittany. Not so much her personal life, even though her personal life is very interesting, having been a teenage mother and a star and everything like that. But
See, you say people didn't care. I agree that obviously Brittany is the star of the family, always will be the star. But I find the pieces that Jamie Lynn just even said in the interview to be very interesting, because I do think that it's unfair to make it seem as if Jamie Lynn only exists in the orbit of Britney Spears. Jamie Lynn has lived her own life and had her own experiences and had to deal with the shit from her family too. So when she's talking about her own mental health struggles and going back and remembering, there was a big hoopla when she became a teen mom and all these various things that happened. Don't forget, she was an actress and making music as well. Still was just on a series on Netflix and acting. So you also talked about how she seemed guilty. I didn't perceive it that way so much as I have a public persona to protect as well, because I also make money in this industry. So we just had the issue of the mental health organization not accepting her donation because of everything that was going on. So I think just like Britney, she has a reputation publicly that she does have to protect, because she makes money in an industry where perception and reputation matter so much. So I didn't even see it that way. But it is unfair that we do just put her directly, she's never even been able to get out of the shadow the way Solange has from Beyonce. You know what I mean? She's always going to be Britney's little sister. So, you know what, Jamie Lynn, I'm a younger sibling too. Do your thing, sis. Do your thing. I'm here for it. Speak your truth.
Thank you, Ashley, for your empathy and your breakdown. Again, for me, it just seems like she was trying to get her story out before Britney. That's
Delora, you're not wrong about that part. I put in my notes, Britney will speak out at some point, and I'm assuming she's going to unleash quite a bit. So I don't think you're wrong about that. So again, Game of Thrones. She about to Daenerys y'all the fuck up. But I do think that all goes back to livelihood and the fact that Jamie Lynn has to protect that money.
Yeah, that's real. So we will see. I'm sure we'll get more revelations. I just felt like she didn't give enough in this interview to sell her book for me. She did talk about, some a traumatic incident that happened with her oldest daughter, but very intense. I'm not knocking that, but I don't know. It should be interesting. So let's go ahead and get into our hot topics. All right, Ashley, it's award season. It's kind of hard to comprehend because with COVID-19, we don't really get a chance to have the red carpets and the hoopla. But
back to your position previously of why the People's Choice Awards popped off the way that it did, right? People were like, yay, a red carpet.
Yes, let me be seen. Thank you for that call back, Ashley. The Golden Globes came and went. Literally.
Untelevised, baby. They were not playing.
So I'm looking at Variety. The Hollywood Foreign Press announced the winners of the 2022 Golden Globes on Twitter on Sunday, Ashley, with no media in attendance or celebrities walking the red carpet like years past. We all remember, because this was a hot topic last year, the Hollywood Foreign Press was under scrutiny for not having any Black people, a part of it. And mind you, the Hollywood Foreign Press is comprised of, media journalists from around the world, and they didn't have not one person of color. If they did, it was maybe a man, but there were no women. Like it wasn't a true voice, especially in the season we're in Hollywood, when it comes to people of color being in both the front and behind the camera. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So with that being said, I think it's interesting that, again, they went on announcing their winners, but I didn't really hear any updates on their membership. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that there. But here are the winners, Ashley. And here's the top categories. That is Best Motion Picture Drama, The Power of the Dog, Netflix. Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy, West Side Story. Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture Drama, Will Smith, Keith Richard. Check out that recap, you guys. And I like to highlight that this was a pretty diverse category. We had Mahershala Ali for Swan Song. We had Javier Bardem being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch, The Power of the Dog, and Denzel Washington, The Tragedy of Macbeth. So that was a crowded field. Were you surprised that Will beat Denzel in Shakespeare?
I'm not surprised because I think, as we talked about when we did the recap, Will really did a phenomenal job in that role. And unfortunately, I haven't gotten a chance to see The Tragedy of Macbeth yet to stack up any opinions between the two. But it is Denzel Washington. So it's stiff competition no matter what role he will be taking on.
Period. Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture Drama, Nicole Kidman. She beat out Lady Gaga, House of Gucci, Kristen Stewart, Spencer, Jessica Chastain, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and Olivia Colman, The Lost Daughter.
I'm actually happy for Nicole because this was a role she almost passed on because of the controversy about her taking on Lucille Ball. So I was actually happy for Nicole. I've watched Being the Ricardos. I thought she did a good job.
I will not express why I'm having a hard time pressing play for that.
You should watch it, Delora. You should watch it.
I should watch it? Okay.
You should watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Best Performance by an Actor. Emotion. I'm laughing because Ashley knows what it is, but I'm not gonna do it on the mic. I'm not gonna do it on the mic. Okay. If you know me, just text me and ask me why. Okay. Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, Andrew Garfield in Tick, Tick, Boom. So he beat Leonardo in that, as well as Anthony Ramos in the Heights. Please check out that recap. Oh, two recaps we've done. Don't Look Up more recently, and then In the Heights.
Remember, you had just asked if they were going to get nominated for anything. They've had multiple nominations.
They have. Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, Rachel Ziegler, West Side Story. She beat out Emma Stone from Cruella. Check out that recap. Don't mind the shameless plugs, you guys. Jennifer Lawrence.
If we can't plug ourselves on our own podcast, when can we plug ourselves?
Exactly. Jennifer Lawrence, Don't Look Up. And then we don't have to talk about the other women, but they did wonderful jobs. Roles that I did not see. So one is from Licorice Pizza. Haven't seen that. And the other one is from Antoinette. Those are two films I have not heard of. So
I'm pretty sure I heard of Licorice Pizza.
Oh, I've heard of it, but I hadn't seen it.
Haven't seen it.
All right. So I'm almost done here. So Best Supporting Actor, Motion Picture. We have Cody McPhee in The Power of the Dog. We have Best Supporting Actress, Motion Picture, Aria Du Bois, West Side Story. She's also hosting Saturday Night Live this Saturday, so check that out. And then so Best TV Drama, Succession, that beat out Squid Game. Check out that recap. Pose, The Morning Show, Lappin'. Ashley, one of your hidden gems won Best Television Series, Musical, and Comedy. Hacks, HBO Max, check that out. But one of our favorite recaps, Only Murders in the Building. They were nominated, but they did not win. So here's the good stuff. Best Performance by an Actress in TV Series Drama, Michaela J. Rodriguez for Pose.
Still be a thing, girl.
Major key. Congratulations. I would gladly be a part of your house, sis. Okay. And then best performance by an actor in a TV series, musical, or comedy, Jason Sudeikis. He beat out both Steve Martin and Martin Short of Only Murders in the Building, as well as Anthony Anderson. So I need Anthony to get some hardware. Yeah,
I know, it's upsetting.
And Jane Smart won for Hacks, best TV musical comedy. Anthology, The Underground Railroad. So congratulations. Black excellence there, found on Amazon Prime Video. It beat out one of our recaps, Mayor of Easttown. Kate Winslet also won for best actress in limited series anthology. And Young Soo from Squid Games, he's the older gentleman, won
Player
for
one
best supporting actor
history
in television.
He and Michaela both made history.
So amazing. And the last category I'm going to talk about is best song, because I love this. Best original song, motion picture. Beyonce was nominated for her song in King Richard. The Song That Will Break Your Heart from Encanto by Lin-Manuel Miranda was nominated. Dos Orquesitas means two butterflies. They all lost to Billie Eilish and her brother for No Time to Die from the James Bond movie. And so the reason why I brought that up, Ashley, is because we knew Beyonce Be Alive from King Richard, phenomenal song, very experimental in some ways in terms of the sound, but she very much wrote that song with one other person, which is major for Beyonce. That is no shade. But I knew she was gonna go for this best original song, but I was so happy to see that she was nominated, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm ready for Lynn though to win best original song though. I'm not gonna lie, because you know he's an EGOT in the waiting, and he was pumping out the projects this year with Vivo, Encanto, Tick Tick Boom. Like he was out here, he was like, where's my hardware?
I love Encanto. That's another movie I forced my family to watch during the holiday season.
That soundtrack has been on repeat since we watched it on Christmas Eve. Okay, we don't talk about Bruno. Banger. And I lied. The last category, best motion picture animated, went to Encanto, Walt Disney, because they know how to make a freaking animated movie. All right, Ashley.
Pixar the technology is another level.
Phenomenal. Ashley, overall, do you care about the Golden Globes this year? And I'm happy for the winners, but does it have the weight they used to have?
No. A lot of award shows have lost their luster. And I don't say that lightly, because I know these are institutions, but I've said this multiple times on the podcast at this point. Part of it is their fault, due to whether we want to say the discrimination, diversity, lack of diversity factor, whether it be stale formula, whether it be the lack of listening to your audience and listening to the actual artist to make changes that are necessary to keep it interesting and exciting and relevant.
That part.
So no, it's not the same, but I do feel bad for the people like Michaela, MJ Rodriguez, and like our player one and all those folks, player one from Squid Game, let me finish my statement, who made history, who this is a huge acknowledgement for them of their talents and their efforts in the industry. I want to see those people win, and win in such a way that gives them the same feeling that everybody else gets to have during those moments, which is celebration.
Huge. They deserve to be celebrated. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you, Ashley. Like in some ways, I'm super excited, especially for Will Smith. He's been vying for that Oscar for a very long time, and I feel like this is his time. But again, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? That's where I'm going to leave that. All right, Ashley, still under the award season umbrella, the SAG nominations came out literally today. Super exciting. I'm looking at Variety once again. Headline: SAG nominations, House of Gucci and Power of the Dog score big. Succession and Ted Lasso lead television. All right, Ashley. So let's look at some of the big awards for the SAG nominations here. Outstanding performance by ensemble in a drama series. We have The Handmaid's Tale, The Morning Show, Squid Games, Succession, Yellowstone. Have you ever watched Yellowstone?
I haven't. It's not been on my radar, but I'm sure I'll get to it someday as I watch everything sometime.
Outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture. We have Belfast. Thanks to Carla, the critic, she highlighted this film for us. It's all in black and white. We have Coda, which is Apple Original Films. Don't Look Up, our recent recap from Netflix. House of Gucci, as well as King Richard. Ashley, do you have any predictions for this category?
I can't say I necessarily have any predictions, but we'll see what happens with the award show itself, right? I don't have any strong predictions on this one. What about you?
So when it comes to predictions, I typically go with what I feel like it's going to win, not necessarily who I want to win. So for best cast, I really think it'll probably go to House of Gucci. I do. Although Don't Look Up is so star-studded. Now, who I would like to win is King Richard. But, fingers crossed. I'm still rooting for them, though.
Yeah.
Outstanding performance by male actor in a leading role. We have Javier Bardem being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch, The Power of the Dog. Ashley, have you seen that film?
I haven't.
I have not. I remember seeing it become available when it dropped on Netflix, but I really don't recall.
It's a drama. I haven't been in the mood necessarily for very serious dramatic. Like, it took me a while to even watch The Unforgivable with Sandra Bullock, even though it was number one for the longest.
I haven't watched it because that's where I am.
It was good though. It was good.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't get nominated. Snubs. Okay. We have Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith, King Richard, Denzel Washington, The Tragedy of Macbeth. Predictions.
I'm gonna give it to Will again. I think because he won the Golden Globe, that's indicative probably of, the way one award show goes, sometimes so goes all. I know the Golden Globe used to be a big predictor for the Oscars, but SAGs, I would give it to him or Denzel, honestly.
Yeah, and the SAGs is a pretty good indicator too, simply because these are actors, and obviously actors nominate or put in their votes for the Academy as well. So there's a through line there. So the last category I'm going to highlight for today is outstanding performance by a female actor in a leading role. So the reason why I wanted to highlight this is so much different than what the Golden Globes were, in the sense of we have Jennifer Hudson for Respect, who played Aretha Franklin. So we also still have Jessica Chastain, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman, The Lost Daughter, Lady Gaga, House of Gucci, and Nicole Kidman being the Ricardos. Now, my prediction for this category is probably going to go to Nicole Kidman. I feel that, but I'm happy to see Jennifer being nominated.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I would love for Jennifer to win a SAG. That'd be awesome.
So let's talk about some snubs, okay? The largest one being Kristen Stewart for her portrayal as Princess Diana. The one that really stuck out for me, I have two. Lady Anjanou Ellis not getting a supporting actress nomination. I thought that was really disappointing and a missed opportunity. And Ashley, one of our recaps, The Harder They Fall, they didn't get any love. Mm-hmm. And there were stellar performances in that film. What about you? What are your snubs?
So my biggest snub is Insecure. And Issa.
I think they'll be eligible for next year, I thought.
According to the article that I'm reading for Variety, it's a shame because this was the HBO series final season and the last chance for SAG to recognize the groundbreaking fan favorite series. So if that is indeed the case, then my biggest snub is definitely Insecure and Issa Rae. Because as I said, even about the Emmys,
yeah,
if y'all ain't on this bandwagon for this final season, I'm over it. So that's my biggest snub.
Ooh, thank you for that, Ashley. I was under the assumption that they would be eligible for next year, but maybe that's just the Emmys. Yeah.
And then Sterling K. Brown, This Is Us, wasn't nominated.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, I am not up to date on This Is Us, and we're in our final season. Okay.
Only second episode though. You got some time to catch up.
Well, Ashley, that's all I have today for quick headlines and hot topics. What are we recapping next week?
Girl, we are recapping one of our most popular titles that we have recapped in our multiple 70 plus episodes thus far. And that is Emily in Paris, back for good old season 2 on Netflix. And Delora, as you know, and as was posted on our stories, they've already been renewed for seasons 3 and 4. So it's time to dive back in to M in Paris, as you were saying during season 1. And I'm excited to talk to you about it. So guys, I hope you're excited too.
All right, Ashley, if there's nothing else, see you later. Bye, Recap Nation.
Bye, guys.